these DVDs back wrong? Oh my goodness, Grandma! I know it's you! This is why we can't have nice stuff! What? You're in my DVD collection again. That can only mean one thing. I'm recreating a shot that was successful from the last video, trying to relive past successes. But anyway, it also means something else. It means that today we are doing a collection video. It also means I'm going to tell you guys the truth about something that I haven't been completely honest about. I'll show you. Hold on a second. Hey guys, so if you thought that this was just a shelf for DVDs, well, you wouldn't be wrong because technically this is a shelf for DVDs, but you wouldn't be entirely right either because there is something behind here. Why don't I show you? Ladies and gentlemen, behind this shelf is part of my Doctor Who VHS collection. Today we will be taking a complete look at my Doctor Who VHS collection, something that is very near and dear to me because that is how I started collecting Doctor Who. We'll get into all that and more today on the Doctor Who Guide. The best box set that you can buy for Doctor Who. Hey guys, welcome back to the Doctor Who Guide. My name is Alex Patterson and it is my goal to help you grow your Doctor Who knowledge, your collection, and your connection with other Doctor Who fans. I first started collecting VHSs, I must have been 10 or 12, and I remember my allowance was $4 a week, and I remember going onto Amazon. It was $3.99 shipping for a VHS. There were sellers who were selling these VHSs for a penny, literally. And so I would go on there and I would shop, I would make out these elaborate notes of maybe I could save up a little and get a VHS lot. That was really how I collected Doctor Who until a good friend of mine, Ed, said, hey, you do know that DVDs last longer? And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. I've been collecting DVDs ever since. I am standing up today because basically from the waist down, my room is a mess. So yeah, let's dive right in. We'll be going in episode order. So the first VHS in my collection is, of course, the very beginning, An Unearthly Child. Now, I absolutely love this cover art. I mean, look at that. It's like William Hartnell and Susan like sharing the same eye, and it's impossible to tell like which one of them it belongs to. I absolutely love this cover art. I don't know much about VHSs, so I don't know if I have any like good versions or not, but yeah, that is An Unearthly Child, the very first story of Doctor Who. The next story we have is Doctor Who, The Keys of Marinus. Now this is an extra big box set, and I think one of the reasons I love VHSs and I love collecting them is, first off, the artwork is amazing. I love those spires and the icicles, and you know, you've got the Vord, but I love the fact that you have artwork on the bindings. Next up is The Reign of Terror, another Hartnell one. Again, brilliant, beautiful cover, and I absolutely love this story, so I remember staring at this cover artwork going, oh, I want this. So, man, this is like one big nostalgia trip for me. This next one is Doctor Who, The Web Planet, and as you know, The Web Planet on DVD is very rare here in America, and it is one of the two remaining rare Doctor Who DVDs that I really want to get in my collection along with Ghostlight. So this right now is actually the only way that I can watch The Web Planet, and I remember watching this story and loving it. My entire day's schedule was to sit and watch Doctor Who. I did not consider it a proper marathon unless I went for 10 hours or plus. If you sat under a blanket, after a couple hours, you begin to feel like these little spots of like heat. I don't know if anybody else experiences this, but they're like heat tornadoes, right? And this is probably sounding really lame, but my goal would be to get those heat tornadoes. And it would ruin every time a VHS ended and you had to get up and swap it out for another one. I know, poor me, but that was what I would do. I don't know if any of you did that. I really have great memories. Doctor Who is a medium for making great memories, and that is what I love about it. So, moving on. Oh my goodness, I am like the worst Doctor Who fan ever. Okay, so it turns out I have the Daleks on VHS, so we're not going in order. Great artwork as always. This is a double feature. That's the Daleks. And I also have Doctor Who, The Edge of Destruction, and Doctor Who, the pilot episode. Next up, we have the Dalek Invasion of Earth. Oh, brilliant, brilliant artwork. Love that binding. Next up, we also have Doctor Who, The Rescue and the Romans, and wonderful artwork, great story. It is possible to get a workout from lifting up DVDs or VHSs, and these stories, this is my complete William Hartnell collection on VHS. Next up is the incredible Tomb of the Cybermen. How awesome is that? Brilliant cover work. brilliant, brilliant story. Following that is The Mind Robber, similar type of artwork to the Dalek invasion of Earth. Comment down below if you know if these two VHSs were like designed by the same person. Next up, we have an incredible story that I also remember watching for the very first time. That is The Invasion. A lot of these VHSs are the way that I first experienced these Doctor Who stories. We would watch them on this gigantic TV. This thing was giant. Like if it fell on you, like that was it. And finally, Doctor Who The Seeds of Death. Now that is a nice color photo, and actually that's a photo from a photo shoot from The Power of the Daleks. So that is my second Doctor collection on VHS. Next up is Doctor Who Terror of the Autons. The covers are now more in color, so that is really cool. Moving on. Whoa, hey, and the next VHS that we have is Doctor Who The Claws of Axos. What a great cover. These covers tell as much of a story as anything. So that is The Claws of Axos. Oh, it's raining VHSs. We have Doctor Who The Curse of Peladon. If you want to know what that reference is, the end of The Empress of Mars, watch this and you will know. That is, again, brilliant cover. Also, if you're a fan of the Ice Warriors, as you can tell, they are in the story. Whoa, a story I recently got on DVD thanks to John Fisher. Also, kudos to you for helping spark the idea of a VHS collection. Also, big shout out to anybody else who suggested that I do a VHS collection. This is Doctor Who Carnival of Monsters. I'm sorry, Charlie, you're not gonna like this. But Carnival of Monsters, I love this artwork. Really cool story. Whoa, we have Doctor Who The Green Death. Now this story is amazing. Cover's pretty cool too. I wasn't gonna catch this. This is my John Pertwee collection on VHS. How big is your VHS collection and what VHSs do you still need to collect? Comment down below. Let's move on to the Tom Baker collection with The Centauran Experiment and Genesis of the Daleks. What a brilliant cover. I love it. Next up, a brilliant story that I know Father St. Martin loves. If you haven't seen Father St. Martin's rendition of the Doctor Who theme on trumpet, it is amazing. Definitely check it out. I will link to the video, but this is one of his favorite stories, and it is Doctor Who The Seeds of Doom. An amazing story, and yes, it does feature a reused costume from the Clouds of Axos, painted green. We have a brilliant story that a lot of people thought was going to be referenced with the pyramid at the end of the world, and that was the Pyramids of Mars. Was not referenced, but it's still a brilliant story that everybody should check out. We have one of my personal favorite Tom Baker episodes. It is Doctor Who The Robots of Death. What a cool cover. Even more chilling as technology advances, and I really want D84 to come back as a companion. D84, K9, that's all you need in life. Next up we have my final Tom Baker VHS, which is Doctor Who Full Circle. This is my Tom Baker VHS collection. We are now moving on to the 5th Doctor's era, and I just realized I have a lot of his stories on VHS. So, The Visitation and Black Orchid, brilliant, brilliant cover. I remember watching this story, really love it, love the binding. Next up we have one of the best Doctor Who stories ever, and that is a story with the Cybermen and the 5th Doctor. You know what I'm talking about. It is Doctor Who Earthshock. Again, brilliant story. I remember being shocked at the ending of this story. The end of the 4th episode. You gotta check it out. Next up we have a Doctor Who Time Flight. Not by far the best 5th Doctor story. In fact, a lot of people don't like it. I remember being very pleased with Anthony Ainley's acting. Yeah, so I definitely enjoy the story. Next up we have Doctor Who Snake Dance. So this was the first appearance of the Mara. Great story, love the VHS. So next up we have Doctor Who Terminus. The thing I remember most about this story is that I tried to draw the artwork on this cover. Now this was a while ago, and I remember finding this harder than I thought it would be, but this is the original. That was my drawing. Anyway, that's Terminus. Next up we have Doctor Who Enlightenment. Now this story, great cover, as you can see. I love the lore that is established in this, really great. Next up we have another 2 VHS set, and that is Doctor Who The 5 Doctors and the King's Demons. I love the artwork on this. Cool binding, great story, great story. Doctor Who Warriors of the Deep, really great story. I think it's quite underrated. You know, the sets really could have been better, but you know what, the story was really cool. Next up we have Doctor Who Resurrection of the Daleks. Brilliant artwork. I feel like I say that every time, but the artwork is really great. Next up we have Planet of Fire, another 10 out of 10 for artwork. Brilliant story. We have Doctor Who The Caves of Androzani, often voted one of the best classic Doctor Who stories of all time. I wouldn't quite say that. I'd put like City of Death there or Genesis of the Daleks, but anyway, a lot of people really love the story, and that's really the point of this. I love the sort of like artwork within artwork. So this is my 5th Doctor VHS collection. By far the most VHSs I have of a single Doctor. I'm gonna put this down. I just realized something. Even though I have all of the 6 Doctor's stories on DVD, I don't have any of them on VHS, which, wow, that's definitely, if I start collecting VHSs again, I'm gonna make sure I get some of his. What I do have next is Doctor Who Silver Nemesis. Now, I remember watching this because it's the extended edition. I don't know if there are extended scenes in this, but what I do know is that they take out the themes and the credits. That is amazing. I loved watching this story. Next up is another story. It's the other of the 2 rare Doctor Who DVDs that I still have left to collect. It is Ghostlight. Now, what a cover. Brilliant artwork, and it is currently the only way that I can watch Ghostlight. Yo, I need to fix this. I need it on DVD. This VHS won't last forever. Coming up next is Doctor Who Survival. Brilliant story. The first time I ever watched this story was on VHS, and I remember watching it and realizing it. I knew the whole time that it was the last classic series story. I saw the ending, and I remember just like crying for a while after that. Like, I knew it came back, but that was sort of the beginning of the end for me of watching the classic series. And I knew that as I collected more and more, I would come to the day when I didn't have a new episode of Doctor Who to watch anymore. And that was kind of really sad. And the fact that this was the last story, I don't know. That's me. That is my Sylvester McCoy collection on VHS. Comment down below with what other collection videos I should do. I'm kind of looking forward to giving you guys a Big Finish collection video because I have a lot of them. I'm kind of addicted at this point. Are you interested in any Big Finish related content, reviews, or potentially a listeners club? I don't know. Let's talk about it in the comments. I want to gauge your interest. What are your best memories of watching Doctor Who VHSs and collecting them, or just watching Doctor Who stories in general? Were you ever as dedicated to watching Doctor Who as I was when I was young and doing 10 hours. My record, by the way, is 17 and a half. That was the 6th Doctor on DVD. So yeah, have you ever watched 10 hours of Doctor Who on VHS? What are your best memories? How many VHSs do you have in your collection? How many do you have left to collect? I want to know. This is the time to talk about your VHS collections. I'll see you in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Comment down below with what other collection video you want to see me do next, and it is Doctor Who.